Retirement is that time of the year when one does not want to put extra effort to make more money. It's the time when you want to make your money work for you rather than you working for money. Therefore, should you consider dividend plan or a systematic withdrawal plan to fend your post-retirement needs? Which investment tool will prove to be more beneficial for monthly income? Let's dissect the two avenues with Anil Rego, founder and CEO, Right Horizons. Anil, good evening and welcome to the show. Let's talk about these two very important post-retirement instruments. If you're talking about dividend plans or systematic withdrawal plans. So first up, let's understand what are dividend plans.
So I'll give an example of, people are used to a fixed deposit, right? And you have one option that you have is you have a regular interest payout option. And the second is you have a cumulative option. So if you choose a regular payout option, right, that is the closest to what you get on the dividend side. Okay, so the mutual fund basically declares a certain dividend on a periodic basis. Now, some of them may be annual, some of them may be monthly as well. Okay, so you need to go back and check. Some schemes are available which are, say, monthly dividend schemes, and accordingly, you can choose one of those options. So basically, you get your returns through dividends, and it's possible that there could be still a little bit additional return which is there, which can also come under capital appreciation at the end of the period. But dividend is basically meant to be that you get the payouts of your returns from a mutual funds through that.
What would be the portfolio allocation or portfolio strategy of these kind of funds that we are talking about?
Now you have a whole lot of options which you have. Okay, so in fact, most of the schemes of different types will all give you dividend options. Okay, so you can have an equity fund as well giving you a dividend option, but those equity funds may be mainly giving you out, say, annual dividends out there. But you could have some of these schemes which are the debt side, which can afford to give you a more periodic monthly. You may have dynamic asset allocation funds where you may actually use monthly as well. So all types of schemes mostly also have one option, which is a dividend option or a growth option. The growth, which is cumulative, but the dividend is where you get it periodic.
What about the tax implication?
Yeah, so basically when you have dividend, the recent changes that have happened is that dividend gets added to your income. Okay, now, so that brings us to an important point, that when should you use a dividend option, right? So if you are in a higher tax bracket, if it's coming out as dividend, it's not going to be beneficial to you because it will be added to income, right? So it may actually make sense for you to use a growth option, and there are other modes, as I think that's on your agenda as well, where you have systematic withdrawal, etc., too, which are alternatives to dividends. So in simple terms, dividend gets added to income and is pretty tax efficient and not to be used if you are in a higher tax bracket.
Plan and systematic withdrawal plan. We are talking about these instruments for your monthly income post-retirement. How can you log into a systematic withdrawal plan and get that strategy availed for your retirement corpus?
Yeah, systematic withdrawal plan is a very interesting option, especially for people in the higher tax brackets. Okay, and for two reasons. One is it becomes capital gains instead of income, and when you have capital gains are tax efficient. So for example, an equity fund above a year will be 10% tax, and even below a year will be 15. So it is much more tax efficient than sort of a normal income. So you can use a systematic withdrawal plan effectively. One, because it's converting your income into capital gains, which is tax efficient. The second benefit is that it is delaying, the money paid out. So let me give you an example. When you are getting a dividend, if you have, say, 100 rupees, right? Let me just take a easy round figures, and you're getting, say, an 8% dividend, the whole dividend is taxable, right? But if, on the other hand, if I'm using a systematic withdrawal, that 100 becomes 108 rupees in the same scheme and with a growth option, and I withdraw that 8 rupees. Now that 8 rupees has a combination of both principal and the capital gains. So only 8% of that 8 rupees I'll end up paying tax on this year. So effectively what happens is delaying your tax payments to the later dates, and it is making it even better than just having a lower tax rate.
This is how you can actually understand and log into your investment strategies and make a post-retirement plan. But then, Anil, we also have a few viewers who've sent us their queries and we would like you to answer them. First question is from Priya Singh, and she says that she's 30-year-old, monthly income is around 60,000. She has a house, she has an EMI going on of a home loan, and that's around 30,000, and she needs to clear this till 2040. And she says that she can barely save anything, and her monthly expenses. So she has electricity bill, data plan, groceries, investments in FD, that's about 10,000. And she doesn't have any insurance plan, but she wants your help to manage her money.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this 10,000 FD is per month. If that is the case, I think it may make sense to actually move that to, say, an equity mutual fund, which can sort of help you get better returns, and you can use a combination of, say, large caps, and possibly even use dynamic asset allocation funds, etc. Okay, so that's my one suggestion, because in the current form, a significant part of your income, say, is going towards your home loan. Now, the good part of it is that you may also save taxes based on that, and you're probably unlikely to pay too much of taxes. After keeping aside a certain sum of money towards liquidity, now you can build up your FD to a certain sum so that you have at least 3 months of let's say EMI that you can sort of support, and then subsequently I would suggest then move it to options which can deliver you a higher rate of return. Because if you use options that can deliver you a higher rate of return, then you can actually go and prepay your loan at a faster pace after a few years. If you markets are good, etc., it may just make sense for you to do that. The second is, I think over a period of time, because it's very tight, either you have to look at saying, can I reduce my loan value, or if your income increases, then I increase my investments. Because I think it's important to also have a larger amount going towards the investments than maybe what you can manage right now. The other last point I would like to make is, I think it's you can actually look at a term cover, because you said you don't have any insurance. So a term cover, at least to cover your home loan. And if you have dependents, then you can also look to have it a little higher. Say you can even go up to 1 crore or something like that. And I think the premiums will not be too much for you on that will be an annual basis. It may make sense because you need to also manage risk to yourself and your family.
Right, so that's a recommendation for Priya Singh. We have a caller online, Srinivas from Bangalore. Srinivas, good evening. How are you?
Thank you. Sir, I have a small query. I'm a senior citizen. I retired from an PSU bank. Out of my terminal benefits, I would like to invest around 10 lakhs in some better yielding, return yielding mutual fund. I just need a suggestion from you.
And you need to invest this amount for how long, for how many years?
It could be for 3 to 5 years, madam.
3 to 5 years. Is there a particular amount or a corpus that you want to create?
Nothing like that. I have enough of a portfolio under equity. I just want to diversify and put some more money out of my terminal benefits to some of the good mutual fund.
Sure. Anil, how can you help?
And I have one more added query.
Yeah.
Is it advisable to take a monthly interest from any of these MF investments?
Sure. Anil?
Yeah, so I think based on your risk profile and this is coming from a retirement corpus. Also, you mentioned that you are investing in stocks, etc. I think a good idea to use is what we call as the dynamic asset allocation funds. And what basically dynamic asset allocation funds are, they are what we call as hybrid funds or balanced funds. and they have a combination of debt as well as equity. And the ratio of debt and equity changes dynamically with the market valuation, right? So you may have multiple market valuation parameters like the P ratio or price by book ratio. So interestingly, as and when the market valuation goes up, the fund automatically moves to debt. And when the market valuation falls, it will move to equity. So effectively, it is buying low and selling high within the fund without you having to do any hard work. So I think the balanced advantage funds typically can deliver a far better than debt type of return. May, in periods deliver say 10 to anywhere between 9 to 12% type of returns, depending on how the markets are moving at that point of time. Right. So I think this is what you can do. And you have two options for monthly. One is you can actually, like I said, again, depending on what is your tax profile. If you are coming in the higher tax bracket, then you use a systematic withdrawal if you want monthly, amounts. But if you don't need, if you're not in the higher tax brackets, then you can actually even just use a dividend option. But I think a little bit from what I could understand, probably for you, systematic withdrawal plan may be a good one. But I would think that, first plan for some of your, monthly income from various debt options, etc. And maybe you have pension and stuff like that because you are from a PSU. And if you need to top it up, then this is something that you can also use.
All right, Srinivas, I want to understand from you, what is your risk appetite? Are you comfortable locking your money in a balanced advantage fund? I believe you already have an equity portfolio, so you know how a balanced advantage fund...
have built up, madam. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Okay, so
I can take a risk, madam. No issue.
No issues.
I have a risk appetite, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Any other question you want to ask, Anil? All right, I have limited time over here.
My query has been replied.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Srinivas, for sending us your query. We'll move on to our next question, which is from Karan. And Karan says that he wants to collect 5 crores in next 30 years. And he's been investing since 2018, out of which he's removed a few funds due to medical emergencies and travel expenses. So he used the investment corpus over there. The portfolio currently has SBI Magnum Mid Cap Fund, L&T Emerging Equities Opportunities, and he has Nippon India Growth Fund. He's been doing 2,000 rupees SIP in each of these funds. The target is 5 crores in 30 years. Anil.
Yeah. So first of all, let me get to the big picture. The big picture, you're doing 6,000 SIP per month and assuming some 11% type of return. You probably, I'm assuming that you could or may also look at, different market cycles. So I'm being conservative here. And you will get, say, 1.43 crores in about 30 years. So then you have about 3.56 or so that you need to build up over the remaining balance that is there. If I look at it as, what is the monthly that I require, I may require about almost like 15,000 rupees a month, to be able to achieve that. So if you just do, you add another 15,000 rupees per month to your current one, then you will be able to achieve that 5 crore number. And let's say that, you're not able to do that and there's, you're not able to put in that 15,000. It's nothing to worry because, you have a long period of time. As you go forward, you can, continue to keep on increasing it. Yeah. So in the last 2 years, maybe you have to go beyond, this additional 15,000 rupees a month. But that is something that I'm sure, as your income goes up, you'll be able to do that easily. Okay. The other part is, in terms of the funds that you have, I think, a lot of what you have is on the mid and small cap side. Both SBI Magnum and Nippon Growth are sort of on the mid cap side, and you have L&T Emerging Opportunities on the small cap. So I think that what you can basically do is diversify and have some of the funds which are also large cap type of funds, and you can use say an ICICI Pru blue chip fund in the large cap category, and possibly add another fund on the flexi cap category, which is say like an SBI focused equity fund. So that's broadly my suggestion to you.
Right, so that's an elaborate and in-depth answer to Karan's question. And thank you so much with this, Anil, for moving time and explaining all the financial planning concepts and answering the viewers' queries for us today.